Remember back in the day when you taught me to live and I taught you to pray. We went in the battle together, no matter the weather, we never delayed. You gave me commands, I always obeyed. I never let you go astray. I never thought I'd see the day that you would come and just betray me.
Broadcast.
Remember back in the day when you taught me to live and I taught you to pray. We went in the battle together, no matter the weather, we never delayed. You gave me commands, I always obeyed. I never let you go astray. I never thought I'd see the day that you would come and just betray me. Sick of playing silly games, you never loved me anyway. You should not have let me get away, cause now I'm looking for my prey. I'm bigger, I'm better, my mind is a weapon. I won't ever let up. You try to break me down and I'ma just get it. They ask me how I did it, I'ma just tell them I rose up. Survivor. Fight for my life. Coming back stronger. I will arise. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. Coming back stronger. I will arise. Staring at you from afar, analyzing every scar. Asking myself how we got here. Remember, this is who we are. I am not here for revenge. I did not come to make amends, not here to repent for my sins. I just came here to win. I just came here to end. I just came here to fight. Show you everything you said I couldn't be. I became overnight. This for the blood, this is for the tears, this is for my pain and my plight. Two walked in, but only one of us is walking out of here tonight. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. Coming back stronger. I will arise. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. Coming back stronger. I will arise.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the final round of the GT3 ANZ ESeries Championship. Tal Serrano takes into this land around a commanding lead in the championship, but he does have Jamie Christensen chasing him down. I think it's going to take some misfortune for him to be caught, but all Christensen can do is put it on pole, get out in front, and pray to whatever gods he believes in, or if he doesn't believe in any, just pray to himself, pray to the Lord God of engine and engine rumbles that Tal Serrano has some form of misfortune so that he can catch him up. Behind them, there's a great battle for third place that is developing. There's a few drivers involved in that. Leading that chase is Matthew Brunt on 252 points. You've got Fitzroy Beaumont behind him, only 7 points between the two of them. 21 points for the back Obersteller. It's going to be a long shot for him, and then Curtis Bird is a very outside chance of getting into that top three. But look for Brunt, Beaumont, and Obersteller to be in a tight battle here to try and take at least one of those beautiful trophies being organised by the ANZ ESeries home at the end of tonight. And we're actually going to have a chat pretty soon with second in the standings Obersteller, because he has some things he wants to get off his chest. Before we hand over to him, though, I'm going to introduce my wonderfully handsome and single colleague, Mitchell Patterson.
Good evening, it is good to be back here, and this is the final for the GT3s this week.
It certainly is, and what a track to have the final at. We're Australian series. Can you think of a better track to end a GT3 championship at than with a longer format race around first?
I really can't. I was thinking about this today, that they really did pick a fantastic track to end this on. Like, is there a track in Australia that any Australian is more proud about? In fact, internationally, Bathurst is renowned. It's why we have the 12 hours of Bathurst. It's an incredible track.
It is a track that people from across the globe, well, I say people, specifically racing drivers from across the globe, look for excuses to come down at Racing Bathurst.
Yeah, contrary to popular beliefs, racing drivers are not people.
They are robots or aliens of some form. We just got to figure out what planet that Ben Falcon is from, because they create good racing drivers there. But yes, they want to come down to Bathurst. They look for excuses to come down and do it. I mean, the latest to indicate his interest is Valtteri Bottas, suggesting that he'd love to do the Bathurst 1000 at some point. I'm sure we'll see Ricciardo in a Bathurst 1000 at some point. Perhaps we're reigniting that McLaren link to try and getting into an Andretti-backed car. There's a
controversial opinion. I don't think Ricciardo will ever step foot into a V8 supercar in an official race.
Ooh.
I think if he did, it would damage his profile. If you go from F1 to any other series and you don't win, it damages your profile.
It does, but when you... This is true, and he is one of the drivers that does have a profile. He's not like some other drivers that racing is all they do. He's more in the Hamilton ilk. He's probably one of the only two drivers in the Hamilton ilk where they have other interests and they use their F1 fame to enable those other interests. So it might hurt him more than other drivers.
Yeah, Ricciardo is a brand, Hamilton is a brand, whereas most other drivers are drivers, or they are more specifically F1 drivers.
Yeah, I think Norris is heading that way, potentially.
You reckon?
Just a little young yet. Yeah, he's got some quite strong branding outside
Quadrant.
of...
He's got his
F1
racing
with
team,
Quadrant,
Quadrant, yes, where he does esports and karting, I
And
think.
if you look at a lot of his merch, it's way more Norrisy. It's like that's not just marketing people. That Norris has had a hand in that. So yeah, I think Norris will go that way, particularly if he finds some more success, which is looking hopeful given the improvement in McLaren's fortunes lately, which justified me when I told them that I would rather be in the McLaren than the Alpine 3 races into the season, because I rationalised it by saying McLaren said they know what the problem is and they got a better car coming. Alpine, this is the best they've got, and they're still terrible. Anyway, shall we bring Obstella in before practice is over?
Yes, absolutely. Let's bring him in here, so he can just serve on us while before he's actually got to set some hot laps. Aaron, welcome to the stream. Now, I believe in addition to giving us a big fat serve, you've got some cool shit to talk about.
Well, mind your language for one. I'm sorry to all the viewers out there that had to listen to that language. Yeah, look, first of all, I'm on here. I'm enjoying this. How much time we got left in the session? 22 seconds. Oh my god.
Yeah, speak fast. Go.
Speak fast. I can't speak fast. Look, tomorrow night, NASCAR's at Daytona. Be there or be square. Nick Berlin, he's in the session right now. He's going to be our sponsor for that event. So it's the BMG 150. We're giving away prizes. It's going to be 150 laps. It's going to be fantastic. So I see that I got number 1 beside me as well. It's going to be that's interesting already.
That's hype.
Yeah, definitely.
You know you're in the battle for third tonight?
Oh, well, that's news I didn't want to know before I went into this. Thank you for putting that extra pressure on me, guys.
You're welcome. I'm just going to bring this up right now. So you're trailing Beaumont and Brunt for third. And you're within striking distance. Like, depending on how the races go, you could finish third.
Well, that's great. I can't wait to get out there and race these guys. But this 20-minute qualifying session is going to be awesome. It's I don't care who I'm racing. You actually attack the mountain when you're doing these qualifying sessions. So I really can't wait to get into it. So I hope you guys enjoy tonight. Everyone that's watching, I hope you guys enjoy what's going to happen here. Hopefully there's not many safety cars thrown, but there is. It's going to be at McPhillamy and over Skyline. I think that's where it's going to happen. But it's going to be a good night of racing.
Yeah, I'm super psyched. Do you have any predictions for tonight before we let you go? On the racing?
I'll win by about 2 laps. The rest of the wobblers, they'll come in. Who cares? I'll done my interview by the time they finish their laps.
Strong words. All right, you can go ruin someone else's race now. Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks very much, guys. I'll catch up with you in the afterwards, hopefully.
Best of luck. So I do have the schedule up on screen now, so definitely check in tomorrow. We do have that NASCAR, and as Aaron has so politely told us, we've got some cool shit to give away, so make sure you're on track. Got to be in it to win it.
Yeah. So it's also an excuse if you don't like anything I've said in this commentary to come and put me off. It's NASCAR, so it'll just look like normal racing. So that's your best opportunity. If you do it in the GR86s, you're gonna get caught. But in the NASCAR, you can get away with doing what you want. Likewise, if you want to go hit any of the other drivers, that's the session to go do it. Of course, I'm talking in jest. We don't recommend that. We want to put on a good show. We got it sponsored by Brunt, which is we got it sponsored, so that's wonderful. Very happy to have it sponsored, and we want to put on a good show. So get the numbers out there, make it 150 laps to remember, and let's go and attack Daytona, NASCAR. What a combination! Why would you miss it?
Yeah, and then we've got 8-6s at Daytona the following week. Is that like 2 weeks of Daytona back to back?
Yes, it is. Of course, different circuits, because we're doing the ovals in the NASCAR and then the road circuit for the 86s. If you want to sponsor the 86 finale, I'm sure you can as well. But yes, a massive thank you to Nick Berling for sponsoring the finale of the NASCAR Championship. Just adds a little bit of extra flavour. It's going to be 150 laps. It's going to be the longest race that we've done in the NASCAR Championship. We've got a specialised broadcast coming for you, which is going to be led by Obersteller and Nixon, the second breast commentating duo at the ANZ ESeries. So yeah,
Did you say breast?
Do get around it. If you can't, second best.
Now I've just ruined the role you were on.
if you can't take part, at least support the broadcast, because they as much as I like to throw shade at them, they are funny. I'll give them that. They're funny.
Yeah, they are great. They've got some great band. If you love banter, they're the boys for you. They're really good. You know, over here we're a little bit more professional. Freudian slips aside.
And that's, I think we just watched Matthew Brunt go straight over the, no, not Matthew Brunt, somebody else.
Christensen?
Oh, no. Christensen? In the black and white Ferrari? That sounds like something Christian. No, it's a Ferrari. Serrano? Serrano is usually in the black and white Ferrari, is he not?
Yeah, that's Serrano, iconic. In the black and white Ferrari, that's his jam.
Iconic enough that we can just about recognise it.
He's stuck with that car the whole season too. Like, the drivers have the ability to change their cars mid-season, but he's stuck with that Ferrari. He must be really comfortable in it, because it's always been good, but I don't know that it's ever been the best car.
It's just solid all round, isn't it? It's a decent choice. It's one that a lot of drivers are familiar with because it's often the first GT3 car that people buy because you get an extra series. There's a Ferrari only series that
that's right. The Ferrari fits
with the Ferrari, so a lot of people tend to start with the Ferrari and then move on to other GT3 cars if they want to explore the GT3 class more. Personally, I recently found a affinity for the BMW. Ran that in the endurance season, in ANZ E-Series Endurance League with Sam Chapman, and we had a decent result. We got a podium. I mean, there were only 4 cars, but we came third. So I will take that, and I actually like to take this moment to recognise some of the new and returning drivers that we've got in this session. So a few more than normal, bit of a better turnout, which is lovely to see. We have got, we've seen Lou before, we've got Brunt, Berling, Obersteller. These are people we've seen all the time. Bianchetti, that's a new name to me, so welcome to the league, Bianchetti, wishing you all the best. And Johnson, which is a name that I recognise from other series, but not sure if we've seen him in the ANZ E-Series yet, so a welcome to Johnson.
Yeah, it's great to have everyone. Is there anyone else new? I feel like that's it, isn't it? Tom Brown. Have we seen Tom Brown before?
That's a very good question. I think I get... Let's just go with no. No's more interesting. Welcome, Tom Brown, if you're new. Welcome back if you're returning. And if you've been here the whole time...
Sorry.
Apologies.
Okay, Tom has been here before. I'm just looking at the standings. He's 20th, so that means he's raced before.
Alright, but it means he's probably not raced every race.
Yes, not every race. Not every race, that's for sure. So
he's
Tom...
returning.
Yeah, that's it. We'll take that. We'll take that as a win. Thanks for coming back, Tom. It's good to have you. And so we've got our first sort of laps on the time. And look at our boy, Mr. Obersteller here at a 1:01.9. Just barely scraping that under that 2-second mark. It
is frustrating that he is proving that it's possible to be a half-decent commentator and decent behind the wheel. Because it throws away my favourite excuse as for why I'm not quicker. So if you could do all this broadcasters a favour and just be less quick, then I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to be racing in the 86s next week. It'll be my first time in the ANZ E-Series, so, you know, if you want to come and chuck some support behind me, don't. I'm not going to be on camera at all. I'm going to be nowhere near the battle pack, so definitely don't come along.
I don't know, I'm sure we could come up with some sort of way of getting you on camera.
I mean, maybe when I'm getting overlapped, you know, when the leaders are going past me.
Yes, that'll work. I'll lead, and I'll overtake you. How's that?
Yeah, then I'll do my very best. You know, when you're going around on track and you're leading a race, and you come up to a back mark and they've got a blue flag, and suddenly he thinks he's Max Verstappen, right? Like he's a lap down, and now he's Max Verstappen. I'll let you go, and then I'll Max Verstappen the rest of the field for you.
That would be wonderful. I would love that. If you can just channel your inner Verstappen-Ocon battle, that's what I want to see.
I was thinking Alonso Hamilton at Hungaroring 2021.
I'll take that as well. Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Where Ocon won?
Yeah, he defended like a lion.
And somehow Alonso held him up for like 4 laps or something stupid. I mean, I know Hungaroring is hard to overtake on, but... Oh, little wobble in the back there.
And that wobble coming from Tyson Hanma? Just
it was him or Berling, I'm not sure.
One of the
It's
two.
a little hard to tell who the the camera is focusing on when we're using the static.
Yeah, and we're a little bit of... We're quite a way into this qualifying session now. So now would be a good time to acquaint ourselves with the current order. So we've got Aaron Oberstaller fastest with a 201.9. That's a clear half-second faster than Ash Davis, who's in second. And then championship leader Serrano is in third with a 2.2.7. He's the lead Ferrari. We then got Brunt in fourth with a 203 dead. Jamie Christensen in fifth. A further half a second back. He's going to need to improve if he wants any chance of taking the title from Serrano. Then we've got Bird, Beaumont, Hanma, Mill, and Bianchetti. And the reason I've listed them all off very, very quickly is because Tao Serrano's just taken pole with a 201.859. 0.13 of a second faster than Oberstaller. Serrano, the man leading the championship, currently on provisional pole.
Now, there is a name that I would like to draw everyone's attention to. And he's not up really for a chance of winning the championship. But he is here and he can potentially upset Tao. So Tao has been our clear leader. He's not really had many clean weeks. In fact, the only clean week that Tao has had so far is the only other enduro style race that we've had, which I believe was Spa. So normally we have 3 heats, including reverse grids, and Tao loves to win the first one, but then get caught up in incidents in races 2 or 3. So this format definitely favors Tao right now and his chances of winning, but we have Kenny Economos tonight.
Yeah, Kenny Economos, one of the fastest sim racers in the world. Someone that can definitely take it to Tao Serrano when the stars align, and even when they don't, let's face it, it should be good. Also, I want to point out the returning Connor Nixon. He competed in the first couple of races, then went away because GT3s really aren't his thing. He does not enjoy these cars, but he's come back for the finale. And he is someone that has been towards the front. I do have some news about Connor. I did speak to him before this.
He's here because he got crashed out at his usual Wednesday night NASCAR.
Oh no!
So,
that's sad.
Basically, we're his side piece, and his main girl was busy tonight. So he's come to us. And Connor Nixon is the other half of the second best casting duo in the ANZ ESeries.
Yeah, which is a proud mantle to have. And I'm sure there are many people that would want to be the side of the second best, the side hustle of one of the 2 people in the second best commentary team in the ANZ ESeries. That's quite the title for somebody to have. But as much as I don't want to hear that he's been crashed out of his normal race, I am glad to have him in the race. It's great to have him up cars, and he is someone that he could be top 3, or he could be.
He's racy. Anytime he's turned up, he's been on the pace. He hasn't had a bad time when he's been here.
Yeah, he won the second race in one of the times he was here, and did it on pace. He was one of those. He was sort of quite fast in race 1, but involved in an instant, got the reverse good pole, and then just ran away with it. If I remember right.
Oh, jeez, you got a better memory than I do, apparently. I mean, it's not like it's my job to know these things or anything.
It's not like you're gonna want to talk about them in some sort of, commentary capacity as we watch Curtis Bird go for a spin.
Yeah,
I think we're going to see quite a few drivers coming unstuck there, and lucky not to get collected by the Vermilion liveried BMW there. So
big apologies there to Brad Newman in the chat, who asked us specifically to show the Curtis Bird on board, and then we've given him the broadcaster's curse as he clips the pit on the way out. He's going to do another cheeky reset after that, I think. But not 30 or 40 seconds after we jumped on board with him, we've cursed Curtis. We've given him the bird, the digital bird, and he's spun out and had a bit of an incident on one of his hot laps. So we've got plenty of time in this qualifying. 7 minutes left. Oh my god, there's only 7 minutes left.
There's plenty of time. 7 minutes. Oh my god, there's so little time.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had 20 and now there's only 7.
Yeah, well, 7 minutes, and the thing is, it's a 2-minute lap. So you need to be getting your outlap. If you want to have 2 bites at the cherry, you've got to get your outlap in, well, now.
Now, yeah.
There's no time to delay. You've got to be out there. If you're not out there already, at most you're going to get one racing lap in. It's getting to the pointy end. It's time for everyone to put on some fresh undies, take whatever courage they can muster, and really attack this mountain and bring it to heel.
So I'm interested to see. So Kenny right now is seeing a second behind Tao. So has he got the time in it? Because a second behind Tao seems pretty par for the course. So we've got. I mean, Aaron looks really racy. I don't know what's happened to this man, but he's looking good. Aaron's normally in it, but we don't normally see him second. And we don't normally see Kenny down in 5th, so I'm super interested to see what he can come up with, whether or not he's got a pole position in him for tonight.
And this is one of those tracks that some drivers will just have an affinity for. It's a track that a lot of drivers do a lot of laps of because it is so beloved. And some drivers, they just get it. They just know how to make a car go fast around Bathurst. They click with it, and they are able to pull out something special. I wonder if Oversteller is one of those drivers.
Yes, so real quick, Brad Newman has asked us to take the camera off him, and as Curtis Bird starts his hot lap, we'll who do we want to curse? Who do we want to curse here?
Let's curse Town. He's at the front. It's the fairest thing to do.
Yeah,
This
that's
is the
it.
equivalent
That's
of a blue
balance.
shell.
This is how we balance of power, right?
Oh, he's just hit the wall. Tapped it.
Is that it? Did he actually get an X for that?
I don't know if he got an X, but it certainly looked like he tapped it to me.
I don't see any off tracks in my event log. I don't know if it will show anything for this.
Tell you what, if you're wondering why Tower's so quick, you're getting a pretty good understanding of why right now, because I'm clenched watching this. That car is moving around every single corner. He's pushing it that hard.
Let's have a look at this this static. I want to see how close this guy's getting to the wall, because it's kind of wild, right?
He's getting over the white line at literally every corner.
Hang on, how's this for review?
I could have done that like 10 seconds earlier. 10 seconds.
I know. I
missed.
missed the wrong part of it, right?
Yeah, like that exit from Forest Elbow would have been superb to watch from here, but we're going to see just how much he pushes it over the curbs at the bottom of the chase.
So talk to me about these curbs in the GT3s. Are they friendly?
They're not bad. You can go all over them.
Okay, well he dodged all of them.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it's necessarily. I'm no GT3 Bathurst expert. In fact, it's my bogey combination. I'm absolutely atrocious in the GT3 around Bathurst. So probably don't take anything I can say for gospel. I don't think there's any that you desperately want to avoid, but also I think if you hit them, you don't necessarily get more time. You do want to not do that though.
That's the end of of Tao's qualifying.
Yeah,
right there.
That
I mean, he's going to run out and run
line.
some more laps, but he's not going to get another hot lap in now.
Yeah, he's still on the practice. Oh
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Up in. And that means Oversteller, Nixon, who's popped up in the third, Davis and Christensen all have a free run. Nixon and Davis on an outlap. So Oversteller, Christensen might be two of the only people that can have a hope in the hell of catching him now.
Now, where's Aaron? You know, he's in the pits.
Okay, so he's not going to catch him.
Connor Nixoff is on track right now, and he will if this is a hot lap, rather than an out lap, he is on to do something with this too.
Oh, he's got a bit of traffic though, isn't he?
Yeah, but I mean they're all going to be on hot laps. Who's in front of him? Okay, they've moved off to let him go. Which is very friendly. That's very sporting.
That's what I like to see at ANZ ESeries. No point holding someone up on a qualifying attempt. You will just get pinged by race control, so it's in your own interest not to do this.
So look at this turnout. This might be the biggest turnout for GT3 we've had.
It might be the biggest turnout for the ANZ ESeries in total.
I know I know the 8.6 has been really popular. It's been a popular series, but this is big. The only other biggest one I think we had was our opening at Fuji, I think.
Long may this continue into
I mean,
the
we're an
next
Aussie
season.
series and we're running at Bathurst. Like, if that's not going to attract
Yeah,
people,
this is true.
I cannot tell you what is going to.
Are we expecting an announcement for Season 3 at any point soon? Do you know?
Oh, there was a bit of talk about that tonight. There is stuff in the works. There is going to be a Season 2. Exactly what format that's going to be, I'm not sure yet. It looks like Connor might have aborted his hot lap here.
Well, he's not going to have time for another one, so that would be a questionable decision, unless he absolutely knew it wasn't going to improve. That's not an ideal place to find a car.
No, well, that happened to Tao on his hot lap too. So
Yeah,
I know you've got the track positions there. Tell me who's out there at the moment that we can check out.
We've got car 111, which is Serrano. Car 168, which is Connor Nixon.
Well, we know Tao's not improving. He was on his out lap.
134, which is Brunt. So that's Brunt behind at the back of this pack in the blue car, I believe.
Well, Brunt has just started his lap. Where's Mr. Beaumont?
Mr. Beaumont. Kalnamos has just crossed the line. And then Mr. Beaumont is number 16. He's about to cross the start-finish line.
Yes, he is. Okay, let's see where Mr. Beaumont's going to end up here. He's currently 9th. I don't think he's improved.
No, last lap time at 203.893 is best at 203.1. So no one able to improve after those opening exchanges, which is interesting. I wonder if the track's just moving away from them slightly.
You know, I wouldn't expect that, to be honest. Like, because we start with zero rubber on the track, right? And the more laps we turn, the more we put down, the faster the track tends to get.
You would think so.
That
would be logical. But it doesn't seem to have been the case here. Perhaps just everyone being in sync at the beginning, less traffic worries, everyone's going for flyer straight away, and then over time people get out of sync, you get a bit more traffic and stuff, and maybe that's just enough to stop most people from improving. Connor Nixon, one of the notable drivers to have improved from the early lap. I think Ash Davis also improved his lap time to get ahead of Christensen and Colomos. But look at that for a top 6. Serrano, Orbestella, Nixon, Davis, Christensen, Colomos.
Well, I mean, let's just have a look at our grid. Run us through.
So, on pole position, it's no surprise he's been on pole many, many times across the 6 rounds of the ANZ ESeries GT3 Championship. It is Tao Serrano in that black and white Ferrari. Alongside him, in the petroleum-coloured BMW, is Aaron Obersteller, one half of the second best commentary crew at ANZ ESeries. Behind him is his teammate in the booth, Connor Nixon, in 3rd place. Alongside him is Ash Davis, putting in a stellar performance to qualify in 4th place. Behind them, it's a vermilion row of Christensen on Colomos, 2 of the fastest guys you will meet in iRacing. Look for them to be on the attack earlier on. Then we've got Brunt Force Trauma, Matthew Brunt in 7th. Alongside him, Curtis Bird, who was a dab hand in that Porsche. Then behind them, Fitzroy Beaumont in an alternative Vermilion Motorsports livery. Good to see a bit of variety there. And Hanmer alongside him. Hanmer and Beaumont, both drivers that can pull something special out of the bag. Behind them is Milne in the Porsche. And Daniel Johnson, who's a name I recognise from other series, but I think this is his first foray into the ANZ E-Series. Behind them, Adam Bianchetti, a new name in the Ferrari. Alongside him is Dale Lube in that rather distinctive, murderous-looking BMW. We've then got Tom Brown, who is a returning driver, and David Atkinson, who is one of the absolute stalwarts of the series in 15th and 16th place. Love to see David Atkinson out there. And behind them, without sending a clean lap, is our sponsor for the NASCAR race tomorrow, Nick Burling.
And also, we do have Mr. Ben Faulkner, who is our safety car driver, and Orlando Black. So big props to both of those gentlemen. Without them, we do not have a race.
Yeah, they are 2 of the engines that make the ANZ E-Series tick over. They do a lot for the club. And we thank both of them for the work they do, particularly on a Wednesday night when they do more of the behind-the-scenes stuff and they run everything, basically. And then on a Thursday night, we tend to see Ben Faulkner coming out and absolutely dominating the 86ers.
Now, are we gridding up now? Is that what's happening?
We should be gridding up. I don't see any cars on my driver tracker at the moment.
We don't, because I don't think we have a warm
I think
up, do we?
I think the session is just ticking over because I'll be going up behind the safety car. So I think it's just taking a bit of time to tick over. I think we had a bit of extra time in there for some reason. I can see the safety car is now on track, so I expect the drivers to make their way behind the safety car pretty soon. At that point, they'll be read at the riot act by Ben Faulkner and Orlando Black. In fact, I can see on my graphics then Ben Faulkner's radio is lit up. So he'll be going through the pre-race stuff, thanking the series sponsors, telling them how to behave and what not to do, and generally being largely ignored by many of the drivers as they try to get into the zone.
So I'm going to flip the script on you. So we normally you normally ask me who I think the big movies are going to be. Now I'm going to ask you, and let's see if you've been paying attention this season.
I think we're going to see Beaumont move forward. I think we're going to see some sort of chaos at the front. May not be at the very front, but there's too many very good drivers in that top 6 that are really going to want to win this race. Of course, they all want to win this race, but the likes of Serrano, Obersteller, Nixon, Davis, Christensen, Conor Moss will all be convinced that they can. And I think that is a recipe for us to get some brilliant racing and some drama. I would inject that top 6 into my veins if I could. It is absolutely beautiful. But yeah, Beaumont and Hanma, they're the two I'm looking at. I mean, they could move forward. Bird's had some good races as well. I think behind them, it's hard to see any of those drivers moving forward too much. But I think we could have a fantastic battle for that 10th place, which is not a reverse grid. We've only got the one race tonight, 60-minute race. But I know like Daniel Johnson is a pretty smooth operator. Bianchetti's new, so he's a bit of a wild card. We will wait to see where he'll rock up. I'm really glad to have you on board. Dale Lube, Tom Brown. Not sure what they're capable of. We'll see. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting at the very least. And of course, we might get the odd safety car to throw in some strategy variation.
That's it. You know, I would love a safety car to come out here at Bathurst. Oh, that's the sort of spice I need.
I think Orlando Black will be getting his engine warm because there's no way we get through a 60-minute race at Mount Panorama with 17 cars on track in the GT3s without somebody losing it at Skyline, losing it at the top of the hill, going deep into the final corner, completely butchering the chase, spinning at the exit of turn 1, getting it wrong at the cut. I mean, every corner there is jeopardy. Every corner is very tricky. No way they get around here without an incident. It just won't happen.
Yes, but it's whether or not they need to be towed, because remember the stipulations for the safety car is that it comes out if a car needs to be towed, and so if they can't get back to the pit, then we get a safety car. If they can get back to the pit, then there is no safety car. So what are the odds you think that we get a safety car?
You see those walls
I do
on either
see the
side?
walls.
I tend to think of them as safety car magnets. And they are everywhere around this track. It is basically the most insane quasi-street circuit in the world. And that's why we're going to get safety cars.
Also, a big quick shout out to everybody in chat right now. Thank you so much for being here, all of you. We love having you. I love talking to you. You know, if you guys have got someone you want to see, got something you want to say, please let us know. We'll read you out on stream. We just love having you here. Yeah,
I second that from my broadcasting partner Mitch. Second sentiment. Love having you all. It's been a joy bringing you this series over the last 6 weeks. Hopefully we can continue our partnership going into the next series because we're going to get some beautiful racing just like we're getting right now because the safety car has pulled away and Serrano has led them away. They're entering the first corner as we speak, largely 2x2. Nobody wanted to give up the corner. They will go side by side all the way to Griffiths where we're going to see some drivers bail out and some drivers try to go side by side, which is a recipe for a safety car.
We got we've got the casting duo of Nixon and Obersteller side by side as we come into corner number 2.
Oh no, who's that going?
That's Obersteller
wide?
Going backwards. That's Obersteller going backwards. Down into 5th from 2nd. That's devastating for his start, but that's great for Connor. He's going to get some great boasting rights at the end of this.
Yeah, he absolutely is. That's the dream of anybody that is in a team or in some sort of partnership with somebody else on the track. The dream is to absolutely crush them mercilessly, and Connor Nixon's doing that to Oberstella right now. Connor Nixon up into second place, and Oberstella down into fifth place. So he's the big loser in that grid.
You're absolutely right. Oberstella is a big loser.
Love that. Nicely done, Mitch. Nicely done.
You just got to slip that in there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've heard their broadcasts. You get away with it because you're not racing, so they tend not to mention.
Oh
you,
no,
but,
I copped shit last week. I don't know if you listened back to that one, but I copped it absolutely.
So it's all right. We'll get our revenge. I'll tell you what. Everyone's been pretty clean so far. Not too many big movers and shakers in the first 3 quarters of a lap. But
I think
that's sure to change.
Dale Loop has had some sort of issue. I can't say exactly what. Maybe when the grid spaces out a little bit, we can get some views on there. He's not in the pits, is he? I'm just not seeing a time for him. So I will say, Tao got off to a fantastic start in this race. He led them by like half a second going into turn 1. It was absolutely beautiful. Connor staying right on his tail though. I'm super surprised by just how good Connor is looking tonight. Christensen is always strong. It's good to see him back again. He wasn't quite up there in qualifying like I expected him to be, but, you know, up into third now. Oberstella still sitting down in fifth after that disappointing early start, getting pushed wide there by Connor Nixon into turn 1. So turn 2 it was.
And I think we've got a safety car.
Oh, a safety car.
I can see on my track a safety car suspiciously at the exit of turn 1. So unless they don't look like behind safety car. Unless my track mapper is.
No, it looks like this. I'm just looking at the safety car right now. It is. It looks like it's fine. And I can't find anyone that is currently not.
No,
moving.
that makes sense. That makes sense. I think it must be the iRacing safety car that my graphic is picking up, and it is just absolutely lying to me. They're absolutely live racing. They're going far too quick for them to be behind, waiting to come up to a safety car. And Serrano still leads the way. Connor Nixon still sticking with him nicely. And then behind them is Christensen, Davis, Oberstella, Conor Moss, Brunt, Beaumont. It is Ferrari, BMW, 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 BMW. BMW is going well around here.
We knew that they were going to be strong coming into there. I mean, you and I didn't actually discuss this. We normally do. We talk about the cars and like what we're going to expect from each car. And I was expecting the BMW to be quite strong here. This track loves horsepower. You know, obviously we love our V8s. We love our horsepower. So the BMW being one of the better cars for these sorts of tracks. It and the Ferrari, I think, are the two that I was expecting to do really well here. And I mean, we've got Ferrari leading BMW, leading BMW, leading BMW, etc., etc., etc. I'm not going to say that too many times in a row.
No, you're not. And at the moment, good question. Why does it say replay, Mitch?
That is a good question. Oh, I think it's not a replay. We are definitely live.
And Beaumont's just got ahead of Brunt in the battle for 8th place. We'll see if we can bring you a replay of that overtake.
Oh yes. Now we will get it. Now we'll get a replay. Okay, so this is Fitzroy Beaumont's move. We'll why don't we jump on board with Fitzroy here? So
it's Brunt ahead of him in the blue BMW. Approaching Griffiths.
Oh, he's just going to send it up the inside on him here.
Yeah, absolutely textbook.
Beautiful. And then he parks it right on the apex as well, which stops him from getting the over-under on him. Beautiful move there by Fitzroy. I know a certain someone in chat is going to be very, very happy to see that one. I believe Fitzroy's mum is always here watching, which we love. I've had the honor of meeting her personally, and she is one of the loveliest women that you could possibly meet. I met her at the Formula 1 Grand Prix earlier this year, and we will take you back live now as well.
Yeah, excellent. And I think we've just missed an overtake. Atkinson on Bird, perhaps. I think Bird might have had some sort of issue.
Okay, we'll catch that. Actually, Bird definitely had an issue. Okay, so this is Bird. We're watching Bird's perspective right now.
It's nice to have a bird's eye view.
Oi, that's a good one. Oh, just a little unsettled.
Oh, no.
Ooh, that's big. Car looks like it's still drivable to me.
Well, it's a Porsche. The engine's in the engine's not. In
we've
the front, so
we've had some action.
Yeah, Connor Nixon falling down the order all the way down to the 11th. Connor Nixon, big troubles for him. Falling behind.
We need another replay. Okay, so this is Connor Nixon. We'll take you on board. So Connor was at least P2. He's already looking a little slow. Like he's dropped a little bit of time to Tal, but I mean that's not unheard of. Oh, just a little bit of oversteer, and then he's been hit.
That would have been who hit him? Would that have been Ash Davis?
That would be. Oh, that would be Ash Davis. Yes.
Connor Nixon falling all the way down, pulling into the pits. So that'll be a lengthy tow, and that'll be a safety car.
That should be a safety car, yeah.
Interesting that he wasn't able to get it going again.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised by that, to be honest. I would have thought.
Unless he didn't
that would go.
Yes, unless he's not requested permission to just tow because he's already got knocked out of the NASCAR and now he's had a spin from second in the GT3. He would have had to request permission, and that would have resulted in a tow, particularly given where the car is. There's no way you would recover that under normal racing conditions on a live racetrack. So I would expect to see a safety car here, but drivers are swapping positions, so it's definitely not a safety car yet. Brunt, Obersteller, and Conomos just in a really good battle. Conomos falling down the order with Obersteller now. They've fallen behind Brunt and Hanma. So not sure why Obersteller and Conomos came off so badly there. Ash Davis getting ahead of Jamie Christensen into second now. So Christensen got past Ash Davis at some point because I think Ash Davis was in second beforehand. So they're in a live battle on the track.
Would you consider Brunt to be in this battle for fifth right now, or is he just a little bit too far off the field?
He's just a little bit too far back.
Is this just Hanma, Obersteller, and Conomos? I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be Hanma right now, because you've got Obersteller behind him, who's been real racy tonight, and then you've got the legend himself, Conomos.
Yeah, it's not a comfortable position, is it? Not a comfortable position at all. Yeah, that's going to be stressful. That's going to be stressful for him. And it's telling me here, Curtis Bird on his outlap. So Curtis Bird must have pulled in, used his fast repair, and got back out.
Yeah, he did. I did see him go into the pits on lap 4. Why? I can't tell you. I'm not sure.
Oh, he had that crash into the wall, remember?
Oh, we did too, didn't he?
Yes. So what we got here, we got the main pack. So the main pack is those drivers that have been clean the whole way. There's actually a gap from Serrano to Christensen of 5.5 seconds. So Serrano looking serene out front after that mistake for Connor Nixon has basically handed him a pretty large gap to Christensen second. But from Christensen down to Kenny Conomos, and there's barely a big gap in there. Only gap above a second is between Brunt and Beaumont, and that's only 1.5. So that's not that huge to overcome. Then you got Daniel Johnson is the leader outside of that main pack, having a clean race. Got Bianchetti behind him. They're both 5 seconds for the car ahead. Then you got a massive interval.
Oh, nope, hasn't pulled it off. And it's left him vulnerable to Conomos now. We'll see if he can block this. It's going to force him to go around the outside. Though, I don't know if you can... Can you do this? You can't, can you? They're doing it. They're going too wide. Okay, Conomos comes second best. He might look for the inside here as they come down the pit straight. A little bit too slow there. A little bit too far back to make that move. And Aaron, luckily, after like a little failed move up the inside, is going to hold on to that. But we'll see for how long. He's a little bit further away, which is going to give Kenny the toe all the way down into turn 2.
Yeah, you're really reliant, if you want to make an overtake at that final corner, you're reliant on the car on the inside compromising themselves too much. If they take it optimally, that's the better line for that corner compared to the outside line. The outside line, you tend not to get as good a run out because the corner kind of works against you there. So you definitely want to be on the inside. Really hard to make it move around the outside. You basically need to have a large delta, or you need the car on the inside basically to muck it up.
Yeah, and so that's one of the things that I talk about a lot. Is defending clean air, and that's more or less what just happened there, right? So Aaron went for a move that I guess he just didn't really have the pace to make. Hanmar didn't defend it, like he didn't block the inside. He left it open for, and that's a spin. That's Brunt right up ahead. That's just gone off track.
He's gone straight on, but looks like he's been able to recover and won't be punished for it.
Yeah, let's have a look at that.
Unless he gets a slowdown for cutting.
Okay, so we're on board with Brunt right now, who was leading that little battle pack. It doesn't look like the curb's upset him at all. Okay, that's the curb that upset him.
Definitely want to avoid that one into the wall. Cuts the corner, will likely get a slowdown for that, surely. And then continue on as if nothing happened.
Yeah, he will pay for that in a moment. He'll have to have given that one up.
Yeah, and he's already fallen down to 8th position. So I think he has.
The only question is exactly where he decides to give that up. And yeah, he's got to do it here on Conrad Straight. Just stick to the right, lift a little bit off. Oh, and now we're actually going to bring you over to Fitzroy Beaumont, who's just made a move on Ash Davis for
3rd place.
For 3rd place.
Biggest mover, up 6 positions since the start of the race. Called it.
Yeah, you absolutely
watch.
did. You absolutely did. So this is we're on board with Mr. Beaumont right now. Is this a move into turn 1 we're about to see here?
I think it might be. Just
springs the traps to get him on the brake. Oh, beautiful. That's a Ricardo-esque move if you've ever seen it, right?
Yeah, that was absolutely wonderful. Absolute typical. Last of the late breakers. Gets it done into turn 1. Only one man ahead of him. That's within striking range, and that's Christensen. 2.5 seconds to Christensen. And then it's further 6.7 to Serrano. Serrano just keeps pumping out ridiculously fast laps. 2.4 on the last lap. 2.9 the next best. And that was from Christensen in 2nd place. Everyone else in the 3s or 4s except for Obersteller, who also did a 2:02.9.
All right, so let's have a look at our movers right now. So the biggest mover is Connor Nixon.
Down 13.
Down 13. That's not the movers. That's not the sort of movement that we want to see. I think he's just out of the race at this point, isn't he? I think he's parked it up.
I suspect he just rage quit essentially. Which, you know what? Fair enough. He's already been bumped out of his main race. Came into this for a bit of fun. Probably surprised himself a little bit with getting 2nd place, and then, yeah, to lose it all on your own steam, it's very, very frustrating. And then have to sit there, wait for the whole pack to get past.
Yeah, because you can't just keep moving from that spot either. Like if you move, you're going to cause an accident, and then you're going to get penalties. And to add insult to injury, he was clipped a little bit as well. So then he's going to drive a whole other lap around with a damaged car, and then pit. Like that's your race over. Yeah, even if you get lucky with the safety car, you're still a lap down.
Do it without going a lap down, potentially.
Maybe. Yeah, that's definitely possible.
You have to do it without going a lap down.
While we've been talking about this, though, Mr. Konomos passed Hanmer for P6.
Ah, excellent. So Konomos on the move now. He's up into P6. Was higher than that at one point, but lost a few positions after a battle. I don't think we actually saw exactly what happened with that one. So he's in 6th, which is where he qualified. And he's got Obersteller next on his radar, half a second behind Obersteller. And Obersteller's 1.9 behind Davis. So Obersteller's not going to get the help of having slipstream down the Conrad Straight. So that's not going to be good for him. I think we may well see a Konomos in 5th place in a lap or two's time.
We'll just get a little incident to take you back to here for Tom Brown. Looks like he might have had a bit of an excursion. So Tom Brown
ahead of him, is it?
Tom Brown. That was David Atkinson, yeah. So Atkinson just let him past?
Breaks early, and then Brown outbreaks himself, goes over the grass. Atkinson's going to come back past because Brown will get a slowdown.
Will he definitely get a slowdown for that, do you think?
I'd imagine so. Cut the track.
It just looked like a regular off track to me.
I don't think he's got away with it. I don't see him slowing down at all.
No, well, we're still in replay. And he's not giving it up, but I mean, you wouldn't give it up going into a corner, for sure. That's how you cause a crash.
No,
I think he's fine based on what we're seeing here, and I don't see that there was anything else that happened either.
It wasn't clean, but he got the position well done before the corner, so not like he's gonna have to give it back or anything. So yeah, congratulations to Brown there, making an overtake on Atkinson. That puts him up into 12th place. He's 12 seconds behind Curtis Bird in length. Big shout out to Johnson and Bianchetti, just keeping it clean, and they're up into 9th and 10th respectively. So they've gone from towards the back of the pack all the way into the top 10.
Yeah, that's a big movement.
Yeah, really good first entries for those guys. Certainly for Bianchetti in this series, and I can't remember whether we've seen Johnson before, because I've seen him elsewhere, so I never know where I've seen him. However, there's still a really good battle, and that battle is from 2nd all the way down to 8th place. All those drivers are basically in a massive conga line going through the dipper as we speak, and approaching Forest Elbow, and it's Christensen at the head of that pack with Beaumont behind him. So Beaumont has caught up Christensen a bit. The gap down to 1.3 seconds. Then it's Davis, Obersteller, Conomos, Hanma, Brunt. And I expect those positions to change around a lot over the next few minutes.
Yeah, so pretty much everyone from 2nd back is within tow right up until we get to Daniel Johnson in 9th. All these guys are within the tow.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is hard to break the tow around here unless you're significantly faster up the hill and then down through Skyline and through the down to Forest Elbow. That's the only place really you can gain a lot of time. If you don't have the tow, well, it's the only place you can gain a lot of time if you've got a car behind you with the tow. So you need to make the most of those opportunities to try and break that tow. Otherwise, you are going to struggle to make any sort of impact and get any sort of clear lead. And Tao Serrano's just coming across traffic for the first time, so he's just overlapped car number 710, which is Dale Lube in 13th place. So everyone up to 13th has been lapped or is out of the race. Looks like Burling and Nixon, the 2 early retirements.
So it looks like Tom Brown has pulled into the pits for some accident repair, and I do have a replay here of exactly what has led to that, so we'll bring you that right now. So this is Tom Brown. A little bit of curb there, everything looks pretty fine. Okay, just a little bit unsettled and then wasn't able to recover it. But, I mean, if you're going to crash, that's sort of where you want to do it, right? Just before the pit entry? Well, a couple turns before.
Yeah, you do want to do it just before the pit entry, but the punishing thing is Tom Brown is in the BMW and that's got the engine in the front. So that's the bit you don't want to hit the wall. What's happened?
Fitzroy Beaumont. We're on board with him right now. He's had an incident.
Oh, he's going on the curb.
He looks okay here.
I suspected that to be the crash. He was okay. Well, that wasn't expected. Oh! That's a big hit.
That looks to me like some sort of technical problem as opposed to...
Yeah. That was peculiar, because that camera, I assume that camera jumping around wasn't your work.
That was not my work, yeah. That looks to me like that was Beaumont. On Beaumont's end. See, he disappears and then he's crashed.
Oh no,
Don't tell me that poor Beaumont was running second. He gets this little lag spike, and then his race is over.
His race is over, and Christensen is in the lead of the race.
We have a safety car.
We do.
We do.
And Christensen hasn't pitted. That's what's happened. Christensen stayed out. Everybody else diving into the pits.
Yeah, is this tire? Do we need tires and fuel?
Everyone is in the pits. Only Christensen, Serrano's back out, Bianchetti's out, and Bird. They're the only ones out on track at the moment. And Christensen almost certainly hasn't pitted. I'll look to see if I can verify that for you all at home. Can we get the pit info up on the...
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Thank you for the call on that one. See, this is what you're saying why Connor should have stayed into it, right?
Yeah, so... Yes, because he would be... If he'd stayed on the lead lap, he'd be okay now. Or he might have even got a wave round if he was not on the lead lap. But also, this was a secondary race, so I'm not going to come down on him hard for that. This was already a... He already didn't want to be here, right? So... You know, let's let bygones be bygones and let Connor get away with that one. But we've got Christensen now in the lead of this race because he's stayed out. Serrano pitted lap 11. Bianchetti stayed out, so he's all the way up into third. He'll be getting a nosebleed. He's that high up. And then we got Oberstella, Davis, Carlos Hanma, Brunt, Johnson, Bird, Atkinson, Lube, Beaumont, Burling, and Nixon all having pitted. Of course,
and
Nixon was an early retirement for this race.
Blue car at the back. Is that Bird?
Blue car at the back would be Brunt.
It's good to see Beaumont back out on track too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, what? No, Beaumont's still in. Okay, there he is. He's moving now. Woo! That's what we want to see.
So he'll be alright. He'll stay on the lead lap.
That is going to hurt his third, because he was one of the drivers that was in the battle for third. While we've got a second, we'll bring up the standings here. So Fitzroy Beaumont was his fourth, and he was in a battle for third. So we got Mr. Brunt Force Trauma, who was in eighth. So if Brunt finishes ahead of Fitzroy, then he's going to come third in the championship this season.
But what about Oberstella? Oberstella's in fourth.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So Oberstella is trailing the guys. He's 224 points versus Brunt's 252. So I don't think that he can secure that third spot just by beating Brunt.
Well, why don't we use this small intermission in the action to...
Are you going to run some math for us?
Double check what the point system is. Now, let's see if we can do some very quick Discord scrolling to find it out for you, whilst also filling what is essentially dead air whilst we wait for the safety car to do its thing. I think they'll go around for one more lap because
I think we've got two safety car laps, so we've probably got another, what do you reckon, 4 or 5 minutes worth of safety car here? They're just ending coming down the end of the arse end of Conrad Straight right now. So, I've just received word that the fuel cap was 60% for this one. So everyone does need some sort of splash and dash. I'll bring up the pit lap stop times, because I'm interested to see... this is the time that they were stopped. So we'll see if anyone took fuel. So we're seeing what's like 22, 16, 21, 22, 20. Everyone's about the same, so it looks like... people have only taken fuel. Nobody has actually taken tires, which is what we would expect, especially now that the tires are being allowed to cool down. So we've got a couple of gentle laps on them. At least two nice, slow, gentle laps. That's really going to let these tires last a little bit longer. And they're not too bad on these GTs anyway. You would expect normally about 2 hours, I think, on most tracks. Maybe 3 if you really wanted to push it, but I think most guys are changing them out around 60 to sort of that 40% mark. So with just 1 hour, about 80%,
I'm a contradiction
70%.
there and say that pretty much everyone has taken tyres.
You think that everyone took tyres?
According to my graphic, they've pretty much all taken tyres.
Right, because 22 seconds just doesn't seem like tyre. It seems too short, right?
They could be doing only 2 tyres. You can do... No, 22 seconds. 22 seconds is enough time for tyres. It's about 18 to change 2 and 22 to change all 4.
So, who are we seeing then that... So perhaps Obersteller is only on fuel?
Obersteller's on fresh tyres, according to my graphic.
Okay, so Obersteller is running with a lot less fuel than everybody else. Oh, it looks like a safety car is coming in, so we can see Orlando Black is breaking away from the pack now, which puts it back on Tao to lead us.
So Obersteller took 5 seconds less fuel. Was stopped for 5 seconds less than most others. Most drivers started putting it for around 45 seconds, so that must be.
See, I'm seeing 20. I'm seeing 20 to 21 seconds on my graph.
I must be seeing complete transit time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I've got stop time.
There you go. We've solved it. I've got transit time. You've got stop time, and yeah, so 5 seconds less for Obersteller, and that's how he's managed to jump up in second. And the point is as followed: first place is 50. Second, 40, third, 35, fourth, 32, then 30, 28, 26, 24, 22. So you really need to be getting into those big positions, the podium positions, first or second, if Obersteller wants a chance of overhauling, because he needs to make up about 25 points, doesn't he, on Matthew Brunt?
So what
he would
position
need
does
to finish.
Brunt need to... What are the relative positions that they need to fit in for either Brunt to win, Beaumont to win, or who is our other gentleman? It was Obersteller. How could I forget Aaron Overrated?
You'll need to read me out the differences, because I cannot read that graphic.
Oh, okay. So
screen.
Brunt's got
It's
252 points.
Yep.
Beaumont, 245.
So that's only a 7-point difference. So that's only 2 or 3 positions, depending on the finishing position.
Okay, so let's assume that Tal takes first.
Yep.
Aaron finishes second. We're just assuming that he finishes where he is right now, second place. And where's Brunt right now? He's in 6th.
He's in 6th.
So what's the point difference between finishing 6th and 2nd? And is it more or less than the difference between 252 and 224?
12 points at the moment.
Okay, so as it stands, even with a 2nd place finish, Obersteller cannot get 3rd. As it stands,
but he gets
with Brunt in 6th. Is that right?
If he can get the win, he gets an extra 10 points.
Yeah, but we're relying on Tao making a mistake in an endurance format.
What's the gap between 2 of them? Quick maths.
Oh, the gap. It is 27 points.
27 points, so he's earning 40. Can't do it, he has to win if he wants a chance. Even if, unless he retires, his lowest finishing position would be enough for Brunt to get enough points to be safe from Obersteller if he finishes in second place.
to beat Obersteller, not necessarily finish 3rd, but just to beat Obersteller, he's got to finish the race.
Yes. And we are back to live racing. The safety car's pulled away, and we got Tal Serrano leading them away, and we've been joined in the commentary box by early retirement from the race, Connor Nixon. Connor, sorry to see your spin from 2nd place. Do you want to talk us through what happened?
Needed to feed the dogs. And
good reason.
Yeah. Needed to feed the dogs, and yeah, that was it. It was on my mind, and Tao was pulling away, and I had damage on the front as well, so all on top of that. But yeah, that was a good little start, I guess.
You looked super racy. I was disappointed to see you crash out.
I know. I was there, but I think it was going to be a second either, because Tao's car's just so gripped up right now, and yeah, his tyres finally came into that window of heat, and yeah, after that he pulled 5/10 on me like it was nothing. So yeah, he's definitely got pace, that's for sure.
So we're looking at Aaron right now, who I think fancies himself a shot here on Tao, the man himself. Look at this, he's
Oh my
going
God,
for
he's
it
going
up
for
the
it.
inside.
Side by side.
Oh, Tao!
Oh!
What were we talking about before that Aaron needed to do to get third?
I don't know, but Colomos has just followed him through. Oh no, Colomos has crashed. Colomos has lost it. And I
Who
think
else was caught up in
might
that?
be caught up in that because I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him get through. Is the track...
Okay, Tao's
Oh, no,
moving.
everybody's
Tao's
getting through.
moving.
Then before. Okay, but he's got Brunt right behind him.
Okay,
so
I'm
Brunt's
seeing
up into third
Beaumont
place.
caught up, Christensen caught up, Bird caught up.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Car T20, Kenny Colomos not moving at all. That may well be another safety car.
And
But Tao's now got Brunt right behind him.
potentially
Tao got
Tao
damage
is...
though.
Yeah, potentially Tao is wounded here as well. We'll bring you a replay of this. In just a moment, as soon as we get it.
We'll bring you a replay of the huge drama, but for now, all that matters there is Tao Serrano is pulling into the pits. There's another person peeling off back there. I think that's Ash Davis coming into the pit lane as well.
Okay, so
So
here we
let's
go.
bring
We're
you a
looking
replay of what happened.
at Fitzroy Beaumont right now. Okay, so Fitzroy's just rear-ended.
That's safety car. That's safety car called.
Another
Or they've all
safety
just
car.
gone very slow to get through. No, they've just gone slow to get through. So
Okay,
do we
this
want
is
to be looking at
Colomos.
so Colomos goes down the inside of Serrano, then he loses
Oh,
it because
loses
he's
a big
got a
spin.
familiar part of track.
Hits
Just
Tao.
taps Serrano.
Yeah.
And then they're all held up because you just can't get through there no matter what you want to do.
Yep, and then a couple of people caught up on brakes. And we've also heard straight from Fitzroy's mother herself that Fitzroy's wheel disconnected. But
Ooh.
look where our boy Fitzroy is here now.
In third place. All but recovered.
Up in third. So, okay. We were talking about the battle between Overstellar, Beaumont, and Brunt? Was it Brunt?
Yes. Yes.
And look who our 1, 2, and 3 are now.
You don't want to make a mistake here. You don't want your wheel to disconnect again, and you don't want to do something like what we just saw from Tao Serrano, and Connor and Kenny Colomos, obviously Connor Nixon and Kenny Colomos. Obersteller, though, has got a 3.6 second gap, so he's doing all the right thing. He did a wonderful move to get past Tao Serrano. Can we just call out how good that move was at the top of the hill? Absolutely mugged him. Serrano had to get out of it a little. That let Kenny Colomos try and get a move done, and he was just on the dirty part of the track and just span. Perhaps Connor, you can shed some light on this. How difficult is it to do what Colomos was trying to do there to get past Serrano?
From experience from doing a bit of V8 supercars and only just jumping in this for a bit of fun. Yeah, it's definitely not easy to put it in.
Yeah, Bathurst is not known for great overtakes, especially in that part of the track, right?
No, it's definitely not. You get to that right hand side in the skyline and you lose all grip. The downforce basically lets go, and you end up going into the wall. So that's what we saw with Kenny there. And what a move from Aaron! Like, I know how Teo thinks. He was probably thinking, "What is he doing?" But that's what Aaron needed to do to make it work. And yeah, he's made it work.
Yeah, you're never going to get past someone of Tao Serrano's speed and experience by trying to overtake them at the traditional places because he's just going to defend.
You gotta catch
He
him
knows
sleeping,
he's
right?
enough and he's going to have to defend. You've got to try and get him somewhere he's not expecting it. And at the top of the hill, and you made a point just before the overtake actually about seeing the tyres of Tao Serrano come into life. So I wonder if after that safety car period, they might have been a little bit cold. And that's why Obersteller was so racy and thinking, this is my time before Tao gets those things back to temper and just starts to pull away. Or would that be a legit line of thinking?
I think so. I mean, the Ferrari takes a good 4 laps just to get the tyres into that optimal window. Definitely driving a bit of Ferrari in my pastime back when I was a young chap. Yeah, you definitely find that the tyres just don't come up to temperature, and we can see a move here. Look at this, Jamie Christensen down on the outside for the next corner. He's got it done.
Wow, what a
So,
move.
someone tell me, with Tao running down in... Where's Tao? Oh, it's 9th. What does this do for our championship? Is there actually a world where Christensen can win this?
Let me...
So, Christensen, 317 points. Sereno, 342.
So that is a 25-point gap between the two of them. There is absolutely a scenario where Christensen is able to win this championship. I think to do so, he's got to win the race, but Tao Sereno is low enough that if Christensen wins, I believe Christensen would take the championship as things if Sereno was to stay in 9th place.
Okay, so as things stand, there's a little bit of a gap here that Christensen will have to make up, and that'll be tough. It's about 7 seconds in 23 minutes. I think it'll take a little bit of luck for that to happen. Maybe a second safety car? Which then also would bring Tao back into play as well.
Yeah, I think anything that brings Tao back into play with the speed he's already shown is out of the question. He needs Tao not to get any luck. And honestly, Tao is driving incredibly quickly right now at 2:02.277 for his last lap. 6 tenths faster than Obersteller out front. 4 seconds faster than Bianchetti ahead of him. So he's going to catch Bianchetti in 2 laps and be past him within 3. He's then got Lube ahead of him, who's only another 1.4 seconds up the road. Daniel Johnson's looking vulnerable as well. I think Tao Sereno, barring any mistakes, has got a pretty clear run up to 6th without any drama.
So he's got 27. He's 27 seconds behind the leader right now.
Yeah, that's too big a gap to overcome, but he doesn't need to do that. He just needs to get into a couple more positions, and it doesn't matter what Christensen's done. And like you said, Christensen's got a lot of work to do if he wants to win this race.
Okay, so we have had a crash. I believe it is Atkinson.
I believe you're right. Let's have a look at what's happened there. Do you think showing the replays of every single crash for every driver makes us popular?
I think people love nothing more than watching themselves crash on stream. Right?
It always fills my heart. I'm not going to say what with, but it fills it.
Easy mistake to make.
At the cutting, yeah. Oh, that was less good.
Insult to injury, but he's going to make it back. That's not good. That's not our safety car.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the sort of thing that happens in a race like this. You unless you're one of the very best drivers, that's the kind of mistake you don't treat yourself too hard for that, because it's such a difficult track. The cutting is a really difficult corner. You really need to get in close to the wall. It's very easy to carry a bit too much speed in and lose the rears in these cars, and that's just what's happened to Atkinson there. All of these drivers will have made that mistake umpteen times, and all due respect to Atkinson, he's a very, very good racer, very steady racer. He's not at the level of the likes of Obersteller, Beaumont, and some of the other drivers we've got, and that's a mistake that's going to happen, but he'll improve. He'll have learned a lot from this race, because it is such a difficult track, and he'll be stronger next season, I'm sure. So chalk that one up to a learning experience for a driver still learning his trade compared to some of the other drivers in the field. And it's great that we got a range of talent here. We've got some really, really fast drivers, and we've got a healthy bunch now that are not quite at this pace. They do tend to get detached from the front battle, but they're able to have a decent battle in themselves, and I include like Berling, Milne in that bracket, where they're development drivers. They're getting better, and I expect that we'll see them battling these guys at the front more and more regularly over the next season or two. Because it definitely got quicker throughout the season as well.
Yeah, we've got no shortage of battles. It's worth stating that there is no I-rating limit here. You can come and race, you pay your fee, and you get access to every single race that we have in a season. $10 covers you for the season. There isn't a good reason not to.
It's less than a meal. So just go hungry one night, and you can race 6-week seasons every fortnight, 12 weeks of racing. Each week has 2 races. That's 24 races, $10, all for skipping 1 meal. And you know what? Not even a full meal. It's $10. When was the last time $10 bought you a meal? Thank you, inflation. So, you know, it's so worth it. I cannot describe how good value it is to get live race control, live broadcast, 24 races, every race broadcast, and all for $10. Don't even think about it. Just do it. Even if you only do 3 or 4 races, you've made your money back. Sorry, I just paused there because I thought Christensen was about to hit.
I thought he was about to have a moment there too. He just dropped it a little bit back. God, I love this view though. This is the best way to watch this part of the mountain, right?
Oh, it is wonderful to see firsthand just how close to get to every wall, to be able to feel every twitch. That's what I like about this view. You really feel every twitch, and it feels so quick because you're so close to the road. Especially
this one, the little camera shake as the cars go past as well.
Love it.
You love it? Dale love it?
I love that we have camera shake, but we can't have every possible GT3 car in a server at the same time.
I think it's got increased recently, hasn't it?
It did. To be fair to them, it did. And it is built on, what, 10-year-old architecture now?
It's older than that.
Or even older? I
want to say 2007, 2011?
We could do with an iRacing 2, but without having to rebuy everything.
If they could just do an engine update, that'd be great. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, just a cheeky engine update. I'm sure it won't take
just a full new engine for the game that allows multi-threading, because it's still only single-threaded.
Yeah, and without losing all the terrific car behavior models that you've built up over more than a decade of research and tweaking.
And that's Christensen getting it done for 4th on Hanma too. And in the background, Tal Serrano getting the move on Bianchetti.
We also, I'd like to see if we can get a replay of Bianchetti overtaking Lube, because we missed that, and that would have been good to see, because they've been a pretty similar pace.
Ah, yes, we'll bring you that one right now. I think there might have been a crash involved, actually.
New boy Bianchetti gonna get a position here. Let's see what happens. So yeah,
that's Lube off track.
Gone off at the chase, and Bianchetti's gonna get past him.
Yep, just like the straight line speed at that part of the track to keep him behind him.
So there we go, and Lube only 0.4 seconds behind Bianchetti now. So this is a live battle. I think. As Tal Serrano came past these two, I think Lube was able to make up a little bit of time on Bianchetti through that period. So we'll see how this develops, whether Lube can reclaim the place ahead of Bianchetti. Kenny Carlamos has just moved up into 10th, getting past Ash Davis as well.
So we've got Lube's right now is half a second behind Bianchetti. So as we move around and look at other stuff, we'll keep our eye on that gap, and we'll be able to see whether or not that's coming up, growing or slowing.
Just going to call it out. I assume they can get to the end without another pit, and that's why everyone dived into the pit stops. But do we actually know that for certain?
I don't. But that's
if there's a risk of a splash and... Go ahead.
That's 2 slow laps behind the safety car, though.
Yes, and it was pretty well timed at about 23 minutes into the race. I suspect they can get home, but let's imagine a scenario where they can't. And they need a splash and dash, then Tal Serrano is well in this race.
Also, chat says that iRacing is 2008, but it still has NR 2003 code. I'm not sure what NR is. Maybe you can fill us in.
I have no idea what NR is. I assume it's a reference to the engine or a previous racing game.
We've had an issue for Fitzroy Beaumont too. We'll bring you that one now.
He's down into 6th place now.
Alright, so this is Fitzroy Beaumont. No, that's not Beaumont.
Yep. You're
That's
right,
Beaumont.
it's not Beaumont. That's Beaumont. NASCAR Racing 2003, apparently.
Oh, so they've based it on some older code.
There we go. Told you that. We told you that Atkinson wouldn't be the only person to go for a spin there. Beaumont proving that even one of the fastest drivers in the session can still get it wrong at the cutting because it is that difficult a corner. Managed to not add insult to injury, avoided the walls, and continues on in 6th place, where he's got a lot of work to do to get back to where he was. And that puts his battle for 3rd place in a lot of jeopardy because he's got Oberstiller and Brunt now ahead of him.
And Oberstiller is now a comfortable 6 seconds ahead of Brunt.
Yeah, he's absolutely killing it out
But
front.
as it stands, Brunt still comes 3rd, is that, unless I'm mistaken?
Yes, 10 points the gap between 1st and 2nd. So Oberstiller would need Brunt to have some misfortune, to suffer some brunt force trauma, and then Oberstiller would have a shot at finishing 3rd in this championship.
And will Oberstiller, as it stands, jump Beaumont? So we've got
I believe he would, yes.
21
I'm
points
quite
difference
confident in that.
between them.
Oh yeah, 100%. He would.
So how many points does Beaumont get for finishing 5th?
I say 100%. I didn't mean 100%. That was a figure of speech. Let me double check the points that I've got up here. So, Oberstiller currently is on 50. Will get 50 points. 5th place would get 30 points. So that's a 20-point difference.
So that's enough.
So all we need now. But if Brunt comes into issues, then Beaumont would also gain a place.
Loop here is looking for a move on a very slow Bianchetti. A little bit of an issue there on exit. Not quite enough room to go up on the inside. We'll see if he fancies a move coming into turn 1 as we cross the line. A little bit far back now to go for a lunge. But
And
coming
we
up
will,
into turn 2, we might be able to see something.
Yeah, as they approach Griffiths, we might see something, and we'll get rid of that lying logo. That's the replay. It's gone. Excellent.
And so in terms of on-track battles, what have we got? We've got Curtis Bird, half a second behind Ash Davis. Conomos coming up on the battle behind Lube and Bianchetti. And then everything looks pretty static at the top, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to look static when you got Oberstiller just pumping out solid lap times. Not the fastest. Serrano's the fastest on track, but enough to grow the gap to Brunt behind him. Brunt's got 4 seconds over Christensen. Do that every time. Hanmer's 4.4 seconds.
Love's going for the move. He's got the inside here.
That'll be
got the overlap.
He can't hang on around the outside. Yeah.
And
nicely done.
And here we've got Conomos as well, looking to maybe make a move into turn 1. He's pretty close. Oh, Loop's coming back, looking for the inside, but I feel like that's just going to weaken him to Conomos.
Yeah, and the worst thing that can happen now is Conomos only gets one of them. If Conomos only gets Bianchetti, then that's going to open up the gap between Lube and Bianchetti by the time Conomos can get past him, unless Conomos's move disadvantages Lube more than Bianchetti. So Lube's not going to want to let him pass. He's going to try and get as close to Bianchetti as he can and try and get past Bianchetti first. That's going to be his goal. That's the best way to make sure he stays in this fight. Yeah, let's talk about speaking the obvious. The best way to stay in the fight is to make sure you overtake the car ahead.
Oh, that was close. That was so close. And that's kind of taken the wind out of Conomos there. It's brought him a little bit of space. I think maybe Conomos was expecting him to be... We've seen this happen before. Where a faster driver trying to overtake a slow one expects them to carry a little bit more speed and runs into the back of them. In fact, I think we saw that with Kenny at Road America. No, Road
yeah,
Atlanta.
I believe we did. We did. It's really, really difficult. Once that delta between the two drivers in terms of lap time gets too large, it looks like someone's driving it fundamentally differently. And at that point, it can be really hard to get past cleanly. You're sort of hoping that the driver ahead recognizes that fact and it just lets you through, because they become unpredictable to you. Even though they feel like they're driving the same every lap, you don't know how they are driving until you've spent a few laps behind them, because it's so different to how you see the racetrack.
Side by side down
there.
Love wants it. There's the over-under. He's making him... I tell you what, this man is here to race. He is really making Kenny work for this.
That was brilliant. That was
He's kept him behind. He's kept Economos behind him all lap. I don't care what happens to Lub for the rest of this race. Sorry, Bianchetti for the rest of this race. That is an achievement. He kept Kenny Economos behind him on Bathurst for 1 lap.
And not just because he was quick, but like Economos launched a full attack there. And
that was an assault. That was an absolute onslaught. Economos was not pulling punches. He was going for moves. He's got it done now, and I suspect he's going to pull away from Lube here. But I mean, I got to give that man a round of applause. That was huge.
Yeah, that was brilliant defensive driving. If you want to know how to defend through the chase up to turn 1, that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Lube put on an absolute masterclass, winning hearts and minds, but not enough to keep Kenny Economos, the Enigma, behind him.
Now, unfortunately for Bianchetti, by fighting Economos, he sort of damaged his chances with Lube. Like, look at the gap between them now. That's 1.6, 1.7 seconds. So he's lost a lot of time to someone that was going to get ahead of him. I mean, he's probably had a great time battling, but once Economos gets past Lube, he's left himself out of the tow.
Yeah, and if Lube's sensible, he'll let Economos through rather than battling him too hard, and then just focus on keeping Bianchetti behind him. But saying that, no evidence of him letting him through quite yet.
I think he's having a look. He is going for the inside move, a little bit of overlap. They're going to go side by side. Lube taking a little bit of grass, which is going to slow him down. And so you're right, that little battle there is basically going to bring Bianchetti back into play.
Yeah, Bianchetti, if he can get a good run for these final 2 corners, make up a little bit of time, he'll be in slipstream distance, and then he'll be able to use that to try and creep up to the back of Lube.
I mean, if you're Lube right now, you just tuck right in. This is what I would have done from the start if I were him. I mean, you know, it could be that Lube's here to battle. He could just be here to battle, right? He just wants to have good racing, and that's fine. There's definitely a perfectly fine way to approach the season and the races in general. Is just finding people that you can race with, because going wheel to wheel is a lot of fun. But in terms of like actual finishing positions, I think maybe one of the best things that you could have done would be just to let him past, tuck in behind him, and then just follow him. Not only will you get his lines in the sort of speeds that he's carrying, because these guys are driving the same car, whether they're using the same setup or not sure, but they are using the same car, so a lot of the lines that he's taking, Lube's going to be able to follow. And then you tuck in behind him, you learn his lines, and you get the slipstream, and then you use that to just pull away from your nearest competitor, which would be Bianchetti.
Yeah, and I have to apologise. I'm pretty sure I referred to Lube putting up the epic defensives. Of course, Bianchetti in the Ferrari that put up the astounding defence. So congratulations to Bianchetti. And I have to say, I'm on the Bianchetti bandwagon here. I support his way of racing. Just wanting to battle. I mean, they're on the same lap. Do battle. Have fun. That's how I like to race. And I made a similar decision to Bianchetti in my race on Monday night. Went for a low percentage move on the last lap because I wanted the racing rather than the guaranteed position that I had. So I back Bianchetti. I think as a professional racing driver, it'd be the wrong move. As a amateur having fun in iRacing, absolutely right thing to do.
That's it. There are guys that you can race with, and there are guys that you can't. Everyone that is here, as we get to about 5 minutes left in this race, everyone here has proven time and time again that they can go wheel to wheel, they can race, and we've had excellent battles up and down the field. And if you like racing, that's what it's all about.
There's a lot of worse. Yeah, and there's a lot worse places you could do your racing than here at the ANZ ESeries on a Wednesday night. Whether it's the GT3s or the Formula 4s, they always put on a brilliant show with brilliant battles up and down the field. And I just want to call out David Atkinson as well for showing the right spirit. Spent 9 minutes, 45 seconds in the pits getting his car repaired, but is back out on track.
He
as
certainly
far
is.
as
He
I
certainly
can
is. He's
see.
5 laps down, but this man is still turning laps. Kudos to you, David. Well done.
So kudos to him for sticking with it.
And he's just gained himself 2 positions too.
Yeah,
Because
he's in 11th.
Davis, Bird, Brown, and Burling are all out.
Yep, it's driven a better race than them. What happened to Davis? Did we see why Davis went out?
Davis, when did Davis go out? Ash
Lap
Davis.
20.
Yeah, hang on. I do have this. Let's Okay, so this is Ash Davis. We'll see what's happened to him. It says he's crashed, but it looks like he's already had some damage at this point. Okay. Okay, I think this is it. This is it here. Okay, so that looks like a clean car for Ash Davis.
It does, yes.
That looks a little unsettled there.
Forest elbow, gets a swapper on, hits the wall.
But that car looked way more damaged in the next shot. So something else has got to happen here, right?
It must do. Doesn't necessarily have to happen here, but something else happened between this and the last shot.
It certainly does. That's the only thing I can see on my... We'll stay with him for at least until he finishes his lap, just in case.
That's all clean.
Because that's not pit roading. That's the pit entrance there. So he's clearly not done anything here.
No. Don't know what it was.
All right. Well, we'll take us back to live racing then.
Curtis Bird, the other casualty. Not sure if we know why Bird went out. But we're going to cut now to Christensen, who's in 3rd place at the moment. 3.7 seconds behind Brunt. 5.2 seconds ahead of Tyson Hammer. He's driven a good race, as Christensen.
Yeah, I think the only thing we might be expecting in the last minute is that perhaps Tao could get a move done on Beaumont. He's about 2.7 seconds behind. We see him just off in the distance there. And Tao has got the fastest laps this race so far.
And lots of them. He's been a class above everybody else in terms of pace. He's the only man to get into the 2-minute ones, which is an absolutely barnstorming lap around here. But is it going to be enough for him to catch Fitzroy Beaumont before the end? Of course, Tao was leading the race really comfortably, then had a safety car, came under immediate pressure from Obersteller, put on a fabulous move to get to the lead of the race, which then left Tao vulnerable to Kenny Economos behind him. Kenny Economos went for a spin, and Tao got caught up.
Yeah, I actually want to see if we can...
And got damaged and had to go for an extra pit behind, which is why he's down in 6th place.
Oh, I really want to see if we can get the move that Obersteller made. You know, I was calling him Aaron overrated before this race. I think he's going to make me eat my shoe here.
I think he's taking that personally, and he's already said he's going to come to the commentary box afterwards. So I hope you're ready to defend yourself.
I think I'm just going to apologise, to be honest. You know, there's as much as I love talking shit and I love putting shit on Aaron overrated. So I might just have to take my hat off for him this time, because this man has driven really well since the race restart. I mean, turn 1, you know, we'll cut him some slack, but
I think you should go the Trump approach and just double down. Refuse to admit you were wrong.
no.
Come up with a reason why you're still right.
That's the immature way of doing things. That's not what we're about here. Is Mr. Obersteller about to cross the finish line and take a win. This is, I think, his 2nd win. Look at this. Look at this man. Are we going to see some victory donuts here? Do you think?
Surely, he's a showman is Overstellar. If I know anything about him, surely we'll get a donut or two. Surely he's gonna feed the coppers.
I mean, he's on the mountain. He's driving nice and slow. So it looks like...
I mean, this is a really boring celebration so far. So we can criticize him for this bit.
Oh yeah. We'll feed him relentless shit in the post race. So we're gonna have a really stacked post race interview here. We've got Overstellar, Brunt, and Christensen. We might even see if we can get Tao to come in as well, because as he is going to be the champion.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely get Tao to come in. Definitely get Tao.
Well, we'll try and get him.
Yeah, if he's around.
Now, is there anyone that we have that's still out racing? I don't think. There's Johnson facing the wall.
61. Atkinson, I believe, is yet to cross the start-finish line.
Ah, yes, here he is, coming down Conrod now. And then I think that's it. This is our last driver. And then that's the end of GT3s for this season.
That's sad, but it's been an absolute pleasure calling the GT3s alongside you.
I'm gonna miss this. I mean, you and I have got one more week to go, but
Look, I'm sure the GT3s will be back in some sort of fashion for next season. Or if not replaced by a similarly powered.
I mean, there's going to be something. There's going to be something.
I'm sure Wednesday nights will continue.
Well, racing will continue.
Racing will continue. But like you said, we do have one more Wednesday night, and that is the finale of the Formula Fords. That'll be great. That will be fantastic. So hopefully we get similar numbers to what we get here.
The Formula Ford, I think, has the best racing in the ANZ ESeries. It's not as popular, but the racing is the best.
Oh, the racing's superb. Got some really class drivers in it as well.
G'day, Ben. It's good to have you here.
Good. Yeah, I think all the boys just did the jump as well. Just then.
The jump?
Yeah, the Bathurst jump. If you go on Matthew Brunt and go back a bit, you'll see it.
Okay.
Don't tell me you don't know about the jump, Mitch.
No, fill me in. Fill me in.
Bottom of the chase. That you can if you get it right, you can hop over the barrier and go straight on.
Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. Gotta watch them all.
What a fantastic way to finish the season. Oh, no. That's incredible.
Can we get an on board with that Vermilion Motorsport car?
With the Vermilion? Do you mean the Vomit Comet?
Yes. The Vomit Comet, please.
Was that who was it?
Jamie.
It was Christensen. Okay. We'll do the unsightly just straight up rewind on live. No, that's Overstellar. We need Christensen. Oh, I think the replay is gonna goob on out for me now. It's not gonna work for us, unfortunately.
That's all right.
Oh, here we go.
That's not. Yeah, here we go.
This is Overstellar we're looking at. No, that is Christensen. I don't know why it says Overstellar, but that's Christensen. And somehow lands it? Okay. Alright, fair enough.
He's even in pit lane, ready to go get his repairs.
Incredible.
I want to see someone do it in a live race. That's what I want.
Oh, I think all the boys are waiting for the interviews too, so I'll leave you to it.
No worries. Thanks, Ben, for running an amazing GT3 season. Can you give us any insights on the next season so far? Just little hints. Give us some breadcrumbs.
We haven't quite yet decided, but I think we're going to limit it down to 2 series for the season. We haven't completely decided, but I reckon is still going to be just as big and just as good as this one. So, if not better. So we've got a lot of things in the plans. Next year should be the massive step up. So, looking forward to next year.
All right, and Ben, thank you again for running everything. And if you could wrangle Tao for us, because he is our season champion, we'd love to get him in as well.
Yeah, I'll give him a shout and get him in here.
All right, gentlemen, what a hype race that was. Okay, Aaron, I gave you so much crap at the start of this race, and you have made me eat my words, and I've never been so happy to be wrong.
Yeah, that was a bit of fun. I got boxed up at the start. Connor put a move on me at the start and put me wide into turn 2. Teo, I don't know what happened with his car there at the restart. That thing had no rears, or the tyres were cold. I'm not sure, but I took advantage of it. It was a bit cheeky, me going down the inside there, going over into McPhil. So no, it was a really cool race, and really glad to be part of it and be competitive with these guys because the field was pretty strong. Yeah,
so normally we do see you in the mix. You've got pace. Every time you hear your pace, you're never at the back of the pack, but normally you're sort of like in the battle pack in the midfield, somewhere between 6th and 10th. But tonight you were on it. You even had the pole lap at one stage, and you were only just pipped by about 2.5 tenths by Tao, who is our season champion.
I was just talking to the guys there. I was on for a 2:01.2 for that qualifying round, but yeah, traffic conditions. I mean, what could have been, I guess, but no, it was fantastic. These guys in here all both asked me, "You been practicing, mate?" I was like, "Yeah, I did a couple of sessions pre, but you have to against this sort of field, you know."
Yeah, absolutely. This is a pretty stacked grid. We've got a Gran Turismo world champion that was racing tonight. And
the other reason is just before I started this race, Nick Burling, which is he's the founder of Burling Motor Group, and he's sponsoring our BMG 150 tomorrow in NASCAR series. He said he's going to give $300 away for that event. So I thought I'd have to get on here and shout that out as well for everyone.
Oh, that's right, because we had you in before the race talking about it, and now you needed to come back and do it again. And this was the way.
Yeah, because. Yeah, he just dropped that on. Nick just got me into chat and goes, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to give away $300." And I went, "Well, that's pretty big news, and news we could have done with a little bit earlier than a day before." But to anyone that's listening out there, and you think you got what it takes to kill it on a NASCAR track, and where are we? Daytona? My God, 150 laps around there in Florida is going to be unbelievable. And if there's going to be that sort of prize money up for grabs, I think we're going to see some people from all over the country.
And what do you need to do to win that?
All you have to do is be in front at the end.
That's it. Just be at the front at the end.
Yeah, that's probably the hardest part. Getting to that last lap is probably going to be easy. Getting that last 150 meters is going to be on for young and old. So I don't want to hold you up too much with this race win. These guys deserve some credit too. Did I pip Matthew at the end there in the for P3 in the championship? We'll have to find out. Time will tell.
You didn't.
Thanks very much for letting me down gently.
Okay,
thanks, that's great.
Did he get Beaumont though for 4th?
So no, I don't think so.
Oh,
thanks guys.
All that work.
Good, that's great. Thumbs up.
I think it might be a point off.
Don't tell him that. You can't tell him he missed it by 1 point.
I think it saved him.
Well, look, just for everyone involved in this series, this is your last time doing GT3s. Time's gone pretty quick. It's been 12 weeks for everyone out there. You guys have done a mega job. The guys on track have done an even better job, if you ask me. Ben, that's put this event on. Mega job from him. Our sponsors. Nick at I got to mention him again. Nick at Burling Motor Group has just gone above and beyond for us recently. So, yeah, big shout out to all you guys, and thanks for racing.
Thank you for joining us both at the start and the end. Thank you for racing, and congratulations on P1.
Yeah, baby!
Woo! Congratulations on the win, and I've done the maths and can confirm Fitzroy Beaumont holds on to 4th place in the championship by a single point.
Now,
boo!
Let's talk about 3rd place in the championship, 2nd place on Bathurst, Mr. Matthew Bruntforce Trauma himself.
Yeah, I didn't even take any notice to the championship, but I'm glad it worked out like that.
We've been following the championship very closely. It's kind of what we're here for. So congratulations, first of all, on third, and secondly, congratulations on second. Talk to me through your race.
Yeah, it's sort of, I jumped into practice and my time didn't really get any better from there. So I was sort of up and down in the race. The first stint was going all right, and then Aaron and somebody else had a spin and I got past, and then I made a mistake and hit a wall. And then after the pit stops, I was sort of lucky when that crash up the front happened and found myself in second. Yeah, I'm sure Jamie was wishing for a few more laps there at the end, but held on.
And Jamie, third.
Yeah, hello.
You've got the inverse of Mr. Bruntforce Trauma here. You've got third in the race, but second in the championship.
Yeah, I did, I think.
Absolutely. So talk me through your race. Normally we see you like right up the front in qualifying, but you're a little bit further back tonight.
Yeah, I think before that qualifying session, I think I did about 5 total laps on Bathurst in a GT3. So it wasn't really the best idea of doing that, but it worked in the end, I guess.
So just a little bit of unfamiliarity with the car and track combination.
Yeah.
I think I've got some bad news. I think you could have come first.
I could have if I pitted when there was a safety car.
Yeah,
But
and
I
I think if things are as they sit at the moment, and I'll get Mr. Liam Banks to run some numbers for me in the background, but you could potentially have taken out P1 in the championship too.
Oh, well, that sounds great.
I don't mean to add insult to injury here. I mean, second and third is a fantastic result. But I think it's maybe a what could have been. There's a couple of what could have beens in this one, particularly for Mr. Beaumont as well.
Yeah, he did have a bit of a wheel disconnection.
Yes,
which,
we did get the confirmation from his mother in chat that his wheel disconnected, and when we watched it on stream too, we knew something had gone wrong for him because he just
he was all over me at that point in time.
So, all right, gentlemen, for each of you, I do have a question. Season highlights. We'll start with Aaron.
Winning Bathurst. Next.
Brunt.
Round 1 and this round because I finished second.
Fantastic. I was about to say, is this the second time we've had you in here now?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
And Christensen. Final thoughts and your favorite. Give me your favorite. Maybe it's an overtake or a move or position you finished in. What's your highlight for this season?
Trying to figure that out right now. I'm just going through the memory log.
Come on, mate. You've had 2 people in front of you to give you enough time.
Yeah.
Although Aaron, to be fair, didn't give you much.
Look, if I had to go on with that, like the whole championship's been run super well, and you guys in the comment, like we all watch it back and we all enjoy it. So that's probably the highlight for most of the drivers out there, being able to watch themselves on the stream battling out with some of their mates on track. So that's been a highlight for me as well.
Yeah, we've had throughout the season, we've had battles up and down. One of the things that's really excited me about this whole thing is just watching as things develop and we learn the drivers and we learn who is rivals with who. Like, we've been watching the Christensen Tao battle this whole season. These guys have been fighting each other. I think Tao's mostly had a bit more pace in hand, but a little bit more, bad luck in some of these reverse grid races. And Jamie's been super consistent this season in just picking up points wherever he can. And we've been watching this develop. Aaron, we've seen you battle for anywhere from like P10 all the way to like first tonight. Matthew Brunt, again, we've seen you battle all the way from sort of P10 up to podium positions. It's been such an exciting season, and I'm so lucky to be here and be with you guys, and it's just been incredible.
Hey Liam, can you cue some music or something? Gee whiz, he can talk a bit, can't he?
Yeah, he really can. He's usually pretty well behaved, but he's I think he's
Look,
he's
I'm
feeling a
just
bit
hyped,
nostalgic
I'm a
at the
bit,
end
I'm
of
a
the
bit
series, and
emotional, guys. Okay.
he's just trying to stop it from ending, isn't he? He's
Yeah, I mean,
it's just droning
I'm
on and
filibustering
on
the
and
stream right
on.
now. Do you understand what's happening? The more I keep
Just
talking,
remember-
the longer it gets to go.
Just remember, you got Formula Forward next week. That's going to be your grand finale for you guys. Yeah, I can't wait to be. Oh, will I race it? Of course I will. I'll be there on track, having a good time with you guys as well.
And can confirm sixth was enough for Tao to win the championship, regardless of anybody else doing anything else. Sixth
Alright.
was the lowest position he could finish and guarantee himself winning the championship.
All right, that was pretty tight then. That was close.
So it was pretty tight.
All right.
Makes me feel a bit better.
Yeah, it would. You're off the hook. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Jamie, and thank you, Matthew. Congratulations to everyone. Liam, take us out.
Hey, before Liam takes us out, I just want one more time before we go. Tomorrow night, BMG 150, 7 o'clock start. Be there. We got prizes to give away. We got $300 to give away to the winner. I think we got prizes valued at about $350 total. So be there. Find out how to get into that, and I'll see you there.
And I'll add that the way you get into that is if you are not an ANZ member, you go get yourself a membership. You can get them from the website, and then join the Discord, get into the iRacing League, do it all before 7 p.m. tomorrow night. That is when the session goes live. That is when practice starts. With that money on the table, you're going to want the entirety of that 30-minute practice. You've then got 5 minutes to do your best. Get yourself the best starting position you can. It's NASCAR, so your starting position does not really matter. Then 150 laps around Daytona, even without the prize money, it would be spectacular. What else are you going to do on a Thursday night other than drive a NASCAR around the greatest NASCAR track of all time, Daytona? And now there is money on the line if you can do it well. And you know what? It's going to be a bit of a lottery. It's a super speedway. There's going to be crashes. People are going to get caught up in it. You never know what could happen, even if it's your first time in a NASCAR. That will be the next race for the ANZ ESeries. We will be back with you next week on Wednesday for the finale of the Formula 4 Championship. It's been a pleasure bringing you the GT3 Championship over the last 12 weeks. Tao Serrano leaves here the worthy championship. Christensen put up a really good battle, but it wasn't enough. We will see you next week. Join us tomorrow for the NASCAR. Oberstella and Nixon will be bringing you that live, as they always do on a Thursday night. Until then, from us and the rest of the ANZ ESeries, take care and good night.